All right, good morning. Tim Sykes here, pre-market video with a confession. I've been pretty disciplined lately. There's a lot of supernovas happening at all hours of the day, so I'm not sleeping that well. And you have a choice whether you want to wake up early or stay up late, but it's tough for me because I want to participate to show you guys. It's not even for trading profits for me. I want you to see this stuff in real time. Seeing is believing. But that doesn't excuse a lack of discipline. And now for the third time in just the past few months, I really screwed up. The only good news is that I cut losses. It could have been worse, but I should never have been in the trade. And, I just did everything wrong. Not everything, but most things. I lost roughly $5,000. The good news is that it's less than my last two dumb mistakes. I'll link this below. This was my earlier loss, $13,000 loss when I didn't even realize I had a position. That was just boneheaded dumb mistake. And then I also lost nearly 10K trading from the gym, trading like a damn degen, trying to get over a key milestone and taking a dumb trade. So I'll link these two videos below. This will be a trilogy. It's like Lord of the Rings, except I'm like Lord of the Idiots. What happened exactly? Well, so, you have to look at recent trades. You have to look at recent trends. What influences you on every single trade? So before I took this trade, just literally yesterday, PEPG, I took a small loss on it. And this was really annoying because this one really spiked up big and I took a loss here. I bought it. It had already spiked up from the 2s to the 4s. And I bought it on this dip in the 3s thinking that it could get back there. They actually did an offering. So short sellers were like, this should tank. They did an offering, but there's too many shorts right now. And so even offering news can lead to a bigger spike. And so this one influenced me because normally I wouldn't buy post-offering news, but in this market, you have to be open-minded because anything that's heavily shorted, the worst companies can spike the most. So I'm dip buying this here, didn't get the bounce that I wanted in the mid-3s, took a small loss. Then I watched it go all the way to 6, and I didn't want to chase it, but I felt this. I really felt bad. Pre-market today went all the way up to the 7s. So day 2 on these spikers can be very good. We saw this with SPRC. We saw this with AGMH. This influences me. And I say like, okay, I want to think about my past trades. I want to learn from them. And you don't want FOMO, like fear of missing out. But, AGMH, like this one, I was buying this one in the 3s or the 4s. And I got out, I remember it was like a scratch. Like, PEPG was basically a scratch, a small loss. I think this was like a small win. But the thing went to 18 the next day. And I actually just had a short that went live because I was filming in a studio when I missed it. And, I'm filming videos like this. And it went from 11 to 17 in like 20 minutes. And I was filming a video, so I missed that. Literally, stock market is going crazy. Small caps going crazy. I'm here in New York. While I'm filming AGMH, the play that I was buying last night in the 3s just went from 11 to 17 in 20 minutes. Congrats to so many students. I saw half my chat room bank. There's only so much I could do. I'm trying to alert. I'm trying to trade. Can I get my laptop real quick? I'm trying to film. But congrats to all students. Also, just saw this chart. 15-year breakout on the Russell 2000. These are the 2,000 smallest companies. It's amazing. 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. Let's go Russell 2000. Let's go market. Ride the hype. Never believe it. I don't know how far we go, but you're just trying to take profits along the way. I sold AGMH way too soon. A lot of students are selling it in the 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, and now literally 17s. It's fantastic. A rising tide lifts all boats. Leave a comment. Tell me that you love small caps. Say, I love small caps in the comments. Let's crush it, guys. This stuff weighs on me. So when I see new plays, I want to, try to participate. Today, as I'm filming this at night. And this is the thing, like I'm trading and then I'm making videos and trying to catch up. So I have a harder job than you do because you just have to trade, but I'm like also commenting on this stuff. Anyways, MRM goes from the 2s all the way up to the 8s. And I missed it. I saw this in the 3s. I tweeted, I was like, press release looks very similar to the one they had in August. It's just a rehash. But again, because there's too many shorts, it doesn't matter if it's a rehash of a PR. In fact, that's actually a good thing because it lures shorts in. And I missed this. I watched it go all the way up and I was like, I'm not going to chase this. I'm too smart. I see it's a rehash press release. I'm not too smart. Okay. Or maybe I'm too smart for my own good. Some people didn't know that it was like a rehash of the last press release and they actually updated it too. Right here, they updated it and they changed the title, decided to double installation. So in the initial one, that wasn't the title. But anyways, even when they updated the title, it didn't really spike it, but I'll still watch it for day 2 potential spike. But I missed this. So again, missing AGMH, missing PEPG, missing MRM, it creates this kind of thing where it's like, I'm there, I see these big runners, and I'm just not executing. So that brings me to KUKE. This one spiked nicely. They have, a positive press release spiking up from the 1s all the way to the 4s in just a few minutes. And I miss it. So I'm like, another one I missed. You have to be fast. And you can see here, clearly there was a front side and a back side. I didn't know how much it was going to tank. Anyways, missed this whole run up, watching it come down here. Looks to find a base here in the mid 2s. So I'm thinking about dip buying here, but then you have these 2 nasty red candles, and this is pure green and then pure red. Unless you're colorblind, you can see there's one little red candle, but for the vast majority of this is all green and this is all red. So I'm thinking about dip buying it here when it looks to go sideways in the 270s, 280s. That would be a potential good dip buy, but then I'm scared out because in 2 minutes it goes from 280 down to like 205, and I'm like, hands off. Like, I don't want to, touch this. But then it starts to base right in here in the 170s, 175 level, and you see this little green candle. And this lures me in because I'm thinking, this could be the beginning of the bounce. It was very similar to PEPG the previous day, where PEPG just kept dropping and then it flipped. And so I'm thinking about PEPG, I'm thinking about AGMH, I'm thinking about MRM, and I'm like, I have to lean into these crappy companies. I have to get over my fear of just being wrong. And so I'm trying to buy it. And when I buy it, I'm trying to alert. And so when I'm alerting, you have to understand, I literally work off one laptop. Sometimes I have a backup laptop set up, if it's busy, but I really wasn't even trying to trade. Just waking up, my sleep schedule is so messed up. So I'm trying to get this on the dip, and I type out my whole alert on Profitly, and then the alert isn't going through. And I'm like, what's going on? Because again, remember, I trade with a small account. I trade for charity. I'm trying to alert and it's not going through. And we've had some software I'm lately. I'm sorry about that. Where was the alert? Oh, this was me talking about MRM being the same thing. And then I'm missing MRM, and I'm getting angry. When you start to get angry that the market owes you, that's when you're more prone to making mistakes. And then I'm just talking about, MRM spiking more. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I saw it in the 3s and the thing doubled. But then, I'm not going to chase MRM because I know that I'm emotional with it. Here at 5:40 p.m., I say KUKE News Runner potential dip buy. And that was right around here where I'm looking at it as a potential dip buy, but it scares me. So I'm getting out. Or I'm not getting out. I'm not going to put out a buy. I'm not actually going to buy it. I just say potential. This is it. So here, then 546, it's coming down. And I think that it's going to, base here like this green candle. And so now I'm typing out the alert, and it's moving so fast, and my alert isn't going through. I retype it. It's not going through. And I'm like, I'm so pissed because I'm trying to watch the stock, but I'm also trying to alert so you guys can learn in real time. And, I'm like, the alert isn't going through, but I wanted you guys to watch it. Then I finally do get the alert to go through here. But you have to understand, this was my first alert. So the alerts, I have to talk with the programmer. The alerts, one alert went out. This was the initial alert that went out. And I had actually been adding to it. And I can't even alert once, let alone twice. But then the initial alert finally went out. And so you thought that I bought 3,000 shares, but I actually was buying it roughly 12,000 shares. So I couldn't even alert multiple times. I know people are confused. Normally I like to go small. I don't like, betting this big, but I really thought that this could turn around in a hurry like PEPG yesterday. And I'm having problems with the freaking alerts. So it just really sucked. And, at least one alert went out. I'm sending it to the wrong newsletters. I'm clicking buttons this thing. It's just a mess. It's a mess when you're trying to alert fast moving stocks and you're trying to type and you're trying to watch it at the same time. And then it starts tanking. And I'm just this thing, pure straight red days. And this is the thing that a lot of these Chinese plays, a lot of these spikers, if they don't start bouncing, you have to get out because there are some of them, they're just straight up liquidation traps and they just keep coming down. And that's exactly what happened with this one when it failed. So when it failed here, I mean, and this is a matter of minutes. These are 1 minute candles and it's coming down here. So the only good thing was that I cut losses, but it was, again, in Profitly, because it was only the first alert that went out, I closed the first alert. So people didn't know I had 12,000. I guess it doesn't really matter whether I had 3,000 or 12,000 shares. But, I was trying to, normally if I buy in 2 or 3 increments, I alert 2 or 3 times. But I couldn't do it because the software didn't go. So I'm just like, okay, don't worry about the position size. It's more important that you guys realize like what I'm doing. What is my mindset? So I got in. I mean, it really is not like the worst play, but adding to the fact that the software is down, and then also Interactive Brokers, which I was using, was giving me problems too. I forgot to mention that. So Profitly was giving me problems, Interactive Brokers problems, and I'm just like, I don't need this right now in the fast moving stock. So long story short, lost roughly 20%, totally not good, whether I had 3,000 or 12,000 shares. But the lesson here is you really have to be careful. I should have had a faster stop loss. Like if you're going to use mental stop losses, you got to be disciplined. Like this was all in 1 minute where it looked like it was basing here in the 170s and then slammed one nasty minute down from 170 down to the 130s. And it's very similar to these kinds of red candles and these slams too. So if you are going to buy any of these fast moving stocks or, especially dip buying them, you have to be ready to get out so quick. And, at least I sold it in the 130s. Look at this thing all the way down after hours, got all the way down to 60 cents. There's really just no dip buy opportunities. Finished down 34%. So this can happen on these spikers. Again, I'm not proud of it. Really ruins a lot of my discipline for the month. What do I do now? I have to, trade smaller. I'm not going to try to make it back all at once. If you do watch these other videos, from my quote worst losses of 2025, I made back, those losses gradually. But these 3 trades, this is nearly a third of my year in 3 dumb trades. 1, forgetting that I had a position. 2, trading from the gym, which is the most, irresponsible, the gym trade in between sets. Like, how much of a degenerate are you? But at least you can learn from my mistakes. And this one, the smallest loss of all, but still part of the trilogy of Lord of the Idiots, Lord of the Degenerates, whatever you want to call me. But this is what happens. And it's such a slippery slope with trading. Like, you're doing good trade, you're feeling confident. Any one trade like this can just slip you up and you lose your momentum. Some people lose their entire accounts. Imagine if I had just gotten stubborn and been like, no, it has to go up. Again, I still managed to cut losses, but the whole alerts and the size and the software issues really messed me up. And I've been really good lately, taking these, smaller trades, losing, 500, making 500, making 1,000, losing 200. And this just wipes out a lot of good work. And it could have been worse. But I share this stuff with you. You just have to watch out for these because these are the trades that really can crush your confidence and crush your account and take you out of the game. KUKE is dead to me now. I'm still watching MRM. Maybe I'll post this. I'll post this tomorrow. I gotta get some sleep. But yeah. I got to go to sleep. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay awake. I'll post this pre-market, but by the time you watch this, MRM might have already spiked already. This could be a good day 2 spiker. And if I do buy, again, I'm looking for a high breakout, right? So MRM needs to break this 8 level. If we learn from AGMH on day 2, it really started spiking here actually around 10 a.m. This wasn't even that early, but this one just kept going when it had the high of the day breakout. And I think that's what you got to focus on. So I got to, weed out these dip buys. As much as I want to do dip buys right now, they're just not working as well. PEPG yesterday was kind of the exception to the rule. I got to lean into these big percent gainers and buy them as they're breaking the day high. Congrats to a lot of you. I saw a lot of people in DVLT. Coulda, woulda, shoulda taken that one. I didn't even see what that did. Hold on. Let's see. Just too many plays sometimes too. Oh, this is scary too. I don't know. Just be safe, okay? Leave a comment, say, I promise to be safe and I promise to learn from your mistakes, Tim. And I'll link these 2 other dumb trades, mistakes below so you can learn from all 3 of my terrible trades. Thanks.